Let me set all this up.
Well, I guess I won't be using that computer no more.
Okay, we in business. We in business. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Man, I'm not going to use that other computer for nothing no more. It's not. It acts right sometimes, and sometimes it don't. We are live though, and I did start on time. Technical difficulties, but okay. I should be in business now, brother Craig.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know. See that when you and Common Sense guy was debating, I was on that computer.
Yeah, yeah. It probably works sometime, but I mean, your face is more clear. Like you can, actually see yourself, with clarity. Like before, it was like breaking all up. Like
your
mouth was moving after you, talk, and you could barely. It was like sounding like real mechanical.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, we back in business. Man, I got to start all over again. Wow. Let me go get something to drink real quick. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's do this. As always, in the name of our ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. And I don't know why I'm trying to do a video, but this was, I want to respond to this comment that I received on my page, of which this particular topic and comment I did address a few years ago, but I guess I'll go ahead and do it again and bring it up to date. I am your soul brother number one. Soul brother number one. People always, they like when you add that little from Soul Train. Soul. Now, we did begin this talk about a half hour ago, but I was told that the whole visual, everything was off, distorted and messed up, so we had to start all over again. So that's good for you, because chances are most of you won't be seeing this live anyway. So you get to start, you get to see it from the very beginning with no problems. But I gotta do this whole thing over again because I think I had already talked about almost 15 minutes. But we're gonna do it again. That's the reason why I like to take notes, because if something happens, I can remember exactly where I left off and what's happening here. Okay. The topic that we chosen for today, for tonight, is a comment somebody left on my blog, and they told me that 22 million murders have happened to us, and these murders were committed by soul sisters, the Black woman of America. She's the greatest murderer. She kills more of us than the racist pink police, black on black crime, and all this other stuff we talk about. And they are making reference to 22 million abortions in this nation. And that makes her a murderer. She's the killer of us. and they are making the accusations that the soul sisters really are trying to kill black men or the soul brothers before they can even be born. So it is intentional. They don't want soul brothers to be born. Well, is this true? Does this have credibility? Well, let's examine. Let's talk about this real quick. My first question is, what is your source of information? Because these persons that make these allegations, they never bring they bring outside sources of information. They make no attempt to bring any type of research that they've attempted to do on their own. They regurgitate something they heard somebody else say, or somewhere somebody else wrote something to that effect. Now, this is the thing. When you have a topic like this, at the foundation or the root of that topic, the problem is hurt and pain. You have hurt and pain from the soul brother side, hurt and pain from the soul sister side. This so-called gender war crap is slowly coming to an end because really it's become redundant. It's become boring. The black man said this about the women, then the women said this about the black men, back and forth. How much can you say? Saying the same stuff over and over again. The feminists, don't forget feminism, the black feminists, and saying the same crap over and over again. At the heart of it is that really we love each other, but we have been put in an unnatural position where we really can't express that love. And we are in a condition whereas we are victims, and just like any victim, victims will blame themselves for their problem. So instead of blaming the environment or that which put us in that condition, we will blame ourselves. So it's not society's fault. It's the black woman's fault. It's not society's fault. It's not racism's fault. It's the black woman's fault. Nobody is at fault. The only one who is at fault is the ones who are in the condition or the abused person, the victim. So you have this bantering back and forth between male and female when both of them had nothing to do with putting them in this unnatural condition. Would this condition, the question is, would this condition exist if it was not for racism? Would this condition exist if it was not for what has happened to us in this nation? That's the question. Now, if it would happen, well, we wouldn't know because we're in this condition. We don't know what our behavior would be if we was not living and went through this experience of slavery in this nation for 400 years, living with our oppressor, being influenced and taught and fed and everything by our oppressor. So the oppressor is the abuser, and we're not going to blame the oppressor. We're not going to blame racism or white supremacy or nobody. We have to blame ourselves because I'm not going to be a victim, but that's exactly what your ass is, a victim. You don't know, look up in the dictionary and understand what a victim is, and you'll understand that you are indeed a victim. This is not your fault. You was born into this. But then going back to the question, 22 million babies aborted by black women, soul sisters, the greatest murder in the black community, soul community. Where are you getting this information from? Again, these persons never present their own information. They regurgitate what somebody else said. If you notice, I never talk about statistics. I never talk about what I read in some books. When you come here, I want you to express what you know. I don't care about what you talk about, what you found in a statistic or the books that you read. What do you see with your own eyes? What do you see? What do you hear with your own ears? What do you observe? Did you go in your neighborhood and try to research this in your own neighborhood, in your own city, in your own town? What kind of information do you come up yourself? And now, if you come to the same conclusion as the statistic or the book that you read, maybe it might be valid because clearly it's going on. You found out yourself by doing the research, asking the questions, observing what's going on, going to the courthouse, doing whatever's necessary to prove your allegation that these sisters indeed are murderers. This is what I want to say from my observation. I'm not talking about what I read in the book. This is what I've seen and observed myself. I don't have to quote from some book or some movie or a statistic or whatever. I observe with my own eyes. Women, now things have changed over the years because of oppression of women, exploitation of women. A lot of women have decided to try to act and be like men. Big mistake. I understand you're oppressed, but you don't want to be like a man, and you should not want to have his mentality. That's what put you in the condition that you're in. Why would you want to be like those that oppress you? Big mistake, but they do it. They've done it. Big mistake. But women, in my observation, women, when they fall in love, women fall in love hard. They love that man. They love that man so much that many times, because of her, they said that it's possible due to her thinking process while she's pregnant. She falls in love with that man so much that she can actually form the physical being of that child and make that child look like what she loved. So when that baby is born, she said, everybody said, wow, that baby looked just like the father. And if you talk to her, you'll see she got a big smile on her face. She's deeply in love with that man. I don't know how true this is. I'm just saying. Because a lot of these babies look like the father. And I guess it might be some truth to it because these women, a lot of them really fall in love. Women want that man. Women want the house and the picket fence. As little girls, they dream about being married and the perfect little family. That's how girls are raised. That's how they're conditioned. They want that type of thing. They're not talking about, I want 2 or 3 husbands and 5 husbands. Women don't think like that. They fall in love with this fella and it's for life. They hang on to him. That's how women roll. However, when it comes to men, we have been conditioned and we are trained a different way. We are conditioned and to be trained to do quite the opposite. How many women can you have? How many drawers can you get into? Sow your oats. We're not taught and trained that way. Every booty that walk by, we gotta look. We gotta check it out. Man, you have men with their wives, and they will look at a booty and a set of breasts right in front of their wife. That's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. That's the way that we've been conditioned. And usually when it comes to cheating, it's the male. It's always going to be the male because that's how we're conditioned. So we are trained and conditioned to try to impregnate and try to mess with every woman we can get our hands on. Then you have to slow down and get married so you can look moral. Now you're a whore all this time, but then it comes a point in the male life. That's how we've been conditioned to train. You got to slow down and find a good clean woman, get married, and become moral. Now they telling you to be a little whore, since a little boy and through your teenage years, then I don't know exactly how old you're supposed to be, but then they tell you, okay, man, you didn't have enough of that, settle down, and then you become moral and holy and righteous. And now you're supposed to find a virgin. Now here you are sowing your oats. You're not no damn virgin. You're not clean. But now they want the man to run around and find him a virgin. And it's very hard to do because you got all these men running around messing up all the women, telling them lies, sowing their oats, messing with their feelings because women fall in love. And the only thing you want to do is looking for a good time, a feel good. That's how men have been trained. I know from experience. But due to my mentality, I rejected that. Get out. I always told these cats that came to me like that, get behind me, Satan. I'm not going to do a woman like that. Because I wouldn't want my mother or my sisters or aunts, I don't want them treated like that. So why would I do it? But that's how we've been conditioned. You see it in movies, you see it in this society. So there's a difference between the attitude of a woman and the attitude of a man. A woman is a lover. A woman is a life giver. A man will destroy. A man is a taker. A man is a use and abuser. You should not be that way. In this society, that's how we're trained. Pimps and players are actually heroes in some people's eyes. Pimps and players. Those who exploit women. If you're a married man and you messing around with 4 other women, guys will give you, they'll give you a hands up. Nobody will step to them and say, hey, dude, you wrong. You know you wrong. Men get behind closed doors and they cheer each other on in their whoredom. I know because I've been there, I watched, I've listened to them. So I'm not speaking from statistics, what I read in a book. I'm telling you what I've seen with my own eyes. Not only in one place, but many places where men gather. Been around many women, so I see these behaviors. I'm not reading from a book. I'm telling you from my life experience. That's the way it is in this society, how we're trained. So, 22 million. It could be accurate. Who knows? I don't know what period of time this is supposed to be. It could be accurate. Who knows? But this is what I want to say on this. Now, while you're talking about these sisters are murdering 22 million of us, I want to remind you of something about the United States of America. Abortion is legal in the United States of America. Abortion is used as birth control in the United States of America. That's right. That's facts. Fornication and adultery is legal in the United States of America. You can play with love in America. You can go around and screw anybody you want to, do all kinds of stuff that y'all want to do. You can play with sex. You can play with sex like it's Monopoly. And that's what many of y'all do. You play with sex like it's a Monopoly game. And some of y'all lose when you end up with herpes and syphilis or AIDS. You think it's all a game. But you can do that. It's all right in America. A consequence of fornication and adultery is unwanted children. It was a mistake. It's not a mistake. Children are not a mistake. When you're having sex and the sperm meets the egg, it gets a baby. That's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. And many of these people, you don't wear condoms, you don't use no kind of spermicide, you don't do nothing. So how is it a mistake? You done it on purpose because y'all having fun. And then you get pregnant and you go to the abortion clinic and get rid of your mistake. So you become killers and murderers of life. Having fun, you think everything is fun. So you talking about 22 million. Soul sisters are not the only women that go to abortion clinics. All the women in this country will use abortion as birth control. Now, this is the thing that kills me. A woman, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Terry, maybe I'm wrong, Terry. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe women can have babies by themselves. Invo, can women have babies by themselves? I don't know. Is that possible? A woman cannot have a baby. She cannot get pregnant by herself. So if she is committing 22 million abortions, somebody helped her get pregnant. And somebody is an accessory to the murder. Somebody is an accessory to the crime. But that's never in the equation. The black woman, she's the killer. That's not in the equation. Somebody helped her commit the murder. Another thing, a lot of these men will pay for the abortion. As soon as the woman said, you know I'm pregnant, how much it costs for abortion? They will pay for the abortion. This is never mentioned. So out of the whole 22 million abortions, first of all, we know that the men had something to do with it. They are accessory to the crime. How many of these men are willing to pay or did pay for the abortion? You know what I'm saying? And how many of these men, even though they can't pay for the abortion, they happy that she done it? You don't mention that. You just put, it's all black women did. No, no. See, that's because you have an agenda. You have an agenda to attack the sisters. And you're not looking at nothing as the reality of what it is. I also want to remind you, sir, or ma'am, or whoever the hell you are, because these people, most of them are faceless. I want to remind you also that it was men, not women. It was men who made abortion legal in this country. Women voted and they fought for it or whatever, but men control the law and the policy in this country. White men, and the white men made it legal. You don't talk about that either. You also don't talk about, what if these babies live? What if these babies did live, the 22 million? These men, how many of them want to pay for the children? They don't want nothing to do with the children. You know this. I know this, and you know this, and it all falls on the mother all the time. It always falls on the mother. See, I don't have to talk about statistics. I can go to family court. Go to family court, sit in a courtroom, and see how many men want to pay for their baby. You have to force these guys to support their children. You should not have to do that. You want to put all the blame on these women. They cannot have babies by themselves. She don't want the baby. He don't want the baby. Go to the abortion clinic. That's the end of the problem. That's how we do things in America. That's how we do things in America. You get rid of your problem by killing it. My problem is a nigger. Just go to a racist cop. Racist cop. I was in fear of my life. Pow! Because my problem is a nigger. That's how we do things in America. We just kill what we don't like. That dog is causing problems, barking in the neighborhood. Just shoot him. Pop! That's how things happen. That's the way we do things in America. See, y'all a bunch of hypocrites. You're a bunch of hypocrites. What if the 22 million babies was alive? How many of us, our children, are in foster care, in orphanages right now? They are alive right now. How many babies are in low-income families right now that is not getting proper nutrition right now. What are you doing about it? You want the babies to live. She should not have killed 22 million of us. Okay, so let's talk about the ones that are alive. The little babies right now not getting proper food in their house. Our children in foster care system, and all these people are adopting our babies. How many of our babies have you adopted? A lot of you have money. You got big houses, big cars. You can afford all kinds of children. You don't adopt not one baby. You're going to turn around. They aborted 22 million. How many did you adopt? That's living, that's alive. You don't give a damn about the ones that's alive right now, and you don't give a damn about the 22 million you talk about that was murdered. You want to bring that up as an excuse to try to make a case against the woman that you hate. That's the reason why you bring that up. You don't give a damn about the living or the dead. Actually, the poor children, I hate to say it, but the poor babies that was aborted, they just don't know. It was a favor that they don't come into this life so they don't have to interact with idiots like you. They don't have to deal with racism. They don't have to deal with all the garbage that we have to deal with. Me personally, I wish I wasn't born into this bull. Because I'm surrounded by a bunch of idiots that never grow up. You don't want to deal with the problem. You want to blame, you want to blame everything on ourselves. We didn't put ourselves in this condition. You're going to attack these sisters. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed. And the sisters should be ashamed, always talk about brothers do that, but it ain't their fault. We didn't put ourselves in this condition. But it is your fault when it gets to the point where you recognize that you are in a situation and you need to get yourself out. And you don't want to act properly. Or maybe you just don't. What do you expect from a proper person or people that has only known slavery? What do you expect from them? Not too much, really. 22 million of us aborted. And you don't say nothing about men at all. Black women murdered. She can't do it by herself because she can't have a baby by herself. You don't say nothing about the male. That goes to show your own agenda. I'm not going to allow you to speak injustice against my sisters, and I'm not going to allow the sisters to talk a bunch of crap that is not true, that is not credible against the brothers. I don't roll like that either way. I know, and we both know who the real problem is, and you don't want to deal with that. You'd rather banter and throw rocks at each other because you're a bunch of cowards. 22 million. How many blacks, soul brothers and sisters, have this nation murdered? Grown men and women since slavery. You don't want to talk about that and deal with this bastard, this beast. They said that 100 million of us died in the Middle Passage. But you don't want to deal with them once and for all. Deal with them. You're going to jump on a woman. You're going to jump on a woman. Bunch of punks. That's why I don't like men. See, I can't be gay because I don't like men. Y'all a bunch of punks. Cowards and a bunch of losers. You're going to jump on women 24 hours a day. And you refuse to stand up against this beast, this damn real devil that you say murdered 100 million in the Middle Passage, least to say how many of us have died right here on this land. Least to say how many of us they have murdered this year. You're going to talk about her. What she do? And the reason why she's in that condition, because she don't have a man. She don't have a man to protect her. She don't have a man to give her her own land. Provide for her, protect her and provide and do things like y'all talk about men supposed to do. She killed 20. Get the hell out of here. Get with that garbage. You in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place for that nonsense. You need to take that somewhere else. But I just wanted to holler and just talk about that real quick because it's just so silly and stupid. It don't make no sense. And you talk about, I'm not a victim. But look at your behavior. Look at your behavior. But you're not a victim. Somebody done this to you. You didn't control none of this. You was put into this pot involuntarily. With that said, that's all I wanted to talk about and bring that to a conclusion. Brother Craig, you still there?
Yeah, yes, sir.
You want to say something, add something to that, or you can say something completely different? I got a little time here.
Wow, you know, I mean, hey, actually, I'm surprised that you ended so soon. I was just sitting back enjoying it, just like kind of visualizing, like you were just taking me off into, you know, a different world. But yeah, man, I mean, yeah, exactly like you say, because like this gender war has to stop.
Yeah.
You know, just bashing, you know, back and forth when you know, the black man and the black woman, you know, we should be each other's, you know, greatest ally.
That's right.
You know, we both, you know, share, you know, a common enemy, and you know, we have common history.
Right.
It's like, but today what I see on social media is just a lot of, you know, gender wars and, you know, going back and forth and people coming up with all of these crazy you know, these crazy claims, because how can you blame women for, like you say, 22 million babies being aborted? Is that in 1 year's time?
They never tell me what period of time that's supposed to be. I don't know.
Okay, but
usually they tell me since the 40-year period. That's usually what they tell me. Yeah,
but on the other end, you got to look at what a lot of these sisters go through.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, they're carrying a baby, you know, they might have like, you know, the man in the situation might be abusive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, women, you know, they lose babies, you know, miscarriages because, you know, men put their hands on them. I mean, you know, there's so many different things, factors. So many different things to factor in. Like, you have to look. You can't just like lump everybody into the same pot, as you stated.
Yeah.
You have to deal with this like on a, you know, case by case basis, because so it's just like, I mean, you know, people, you know, I mean, this gender war just needs to stop. Seriously. I mean, that's really all I got to say.
Yeah, well, actually, to me, I think it's slowing down a lot, because I mean, what else can you say? They done said everything. What else can you say back and forth? You know, the 22 million babies, feminism since they said that the black woman been in control of our neighborhoods for 40 years, which I asked them, if the black woman been in control of our neighborhoods, they said our neighborhoods are led by women. Who are these women? Every time I see, when they talk about leadership, they always put a male face up. Who are these women you talking about that lead the black community?
Yeah, we also, I mean, like, you know, us as black men, you know, when we go to making these claims of, you know, black women being feminists, I mean, look at who the mastermind is behind all of that.
Right.
You know, the white man is the puppet master behind any black woman, you know, being feminist. Because look at, like, you know, just look at the statistics as far as like when it comes to just single, you know, mother, you know, led households. You know, I mean, we as black people, like, I don't want to separate it, but we have just been put in this self-destructive, you know, position. And a lot of times it's not even the black man's fault for not being in the household at time. Because, you know, we have, you know, been disenfranchised, and, you know, so a lot of black men have been falsely, you know, accused of crimes they didn't commit, sent to prison. Some of them been murdered by, you know, police in the streets. You know, there's so many different factors, you know, that you have to. So it's like, it's at the end of the day, I'm not saying that there aren't some, you know, deadbeats or some people out here that could do better but choose not to. But what I'm saying, I just have to deal with every situation on an individual basis. I mean, you know, case by case basis.
I was in court, Brother Craig, and this guy, I heard out of his mouth. The judge said, well, you know, he was talking about child support, and the guy told the judge, I ain't paying a dime. They said, well, you can go, I'll go to jail. I ain't giving you I ain't paying nothing out of this dude's mouth.
Wow.
He said he'd rather go to jail. He said, I'm not going to pay, I'm not doing nothing.
Wow. I would like to do a sit back and do a mental evaluation of him as far as like to see, is he on any type of drugs? I mean, just look at his background.
Well,
like,
brother
there
Craig,
has to be some type of...
Brother Craig, I know who the guy is. He was my brother's father.
Okay.
And my brother was only 5 years old. He was in, my mother took me to court with her that day.
I mean, did he have a problem, like a troubled life for him to?
Yeah, he's a nigga. That's his troubled life.
Like, explain. I mean, if you got time, just to
he think, you know, he was one of them guys, light-skinned dude, think he cute, run around, you know. Then women think he cute, so he going from jumping from woman to woman because they think, you know, these women, a lot of these women, they pick up, you know, I agree with some of these guys when they talk about these women need, you know, they make these choices. And, you know, they make these choices with these guys and, you know, they ain't no good, but, you know, these women go for them.
You're correct. Definitely
you need to make better choices.
That's right. That's definitely correct. You are 100% correct. But it's just something about, I don't know, people just, like, it just seems everybody's attracted to what they cannot have.
Yeah.
And people just cannot be happy with what's good for them. And, you know, what's right in front of their face, they'll bypass the brother, or, I mean, you know, the brothers will bypass the sister, or the sister will bypass the brother that's right there, you know, right in their face, to go chasing up behind somebody that in the long run won't be there for them.
Yeah.
You know? So, hey, I mean, I guess that's just a part of human nature, you know, to want what you can't have, to want what's not good for you. Because, you know, as a child, well, most children, you know, they were always taught by their, you know, parent. I mean, they were told by their parent, you know, don't do this, you know, don't go out in the middle of the street, you know, don't do drugs, you know, don't drink, don't do this. And that seems to make, like, when somebody, like a person of authority is putting a restriction on something, it makes it that much more appealing.
Yeah.
People. So, you know, it's that same mentality, same childlike, you know, mentality, you know, that we all had as kids. I mean, my parents told me countless times to not do this, not do that. And then as I grew older, I found out that they were telling me, you know, trying to lead me, you know, down the right direction, in the right path. But I didn't listen, just like, you know, the majority of kids don't listen to their parents. You know, and I'm paying for it, you know.
Oh, you brought up a good point, because I noticed, you know, from being locked up, I noticed that a lot of those women used to go for those guys that was in the lockup, right? But when they got free, nobody wanted to give them no play.
Right.
I think it's because they like the idea of sneaking around and being secret, and, you know, I think that's what they like about that whole thing.
Yep.
Right. You know, because when they get free, all that's gone. You know, we can do whatever we want to, but, you know, that sneaking around and, you know, messing with somebody that you know, messing with somebody you know you ain't supposed to be messing with.
I think society plays a certain role in that as well, because it just seems like if you look, like, as far as like in Black culture, like, you know, African American culture, I'll use that term. Mm-hmm. If you look around, like, in Black culture, it's like we glamorize, like, you know, just I mean, this country just glamorizes, like, criminal behavior, like when it comes to movies, mm-hmm. you know, music, like, you know, we make that, you know, those type of people appear appealing. It's not about, oh, stay a virgin until you marry. You know, like do right. You know, honor the neighbor, and you know, it's like I don't know. This is just a corrupt system, and like that's why, like when I think you coined that phrase "pink" when you call white, you know, pink people.
Yeah.
Like we're living in a. I mean, this shows you something about pink society and how corrupt it is, because look at how they exploit women. I mean, like, you know, yes, today we are copying, you know, what the slave master on the plantation, you know, bred us to be. But the white man, he treats his woman like nothing. I mean, the white man is, you know, definitely not a you know, the white man is barbaric. That's all I will say at the end of the day. When it comes to his women, his children, you know, incest, you know, within the family. I mean, man, one thing he did though, he knew how to, wherever we were at, because I know, you know, we have, and I'm at the point, we have different conflicting viewpoints on where, you know, Black people that's in America come from. But to be totally honest with you right now, I don't have the answer. I mean, I know what I believe in, but I mean, I couldn't sit here and really tell you that I know the answer, you know, whether, you know, so basically what I'm saying, you know, back in those days, you know, whenever, I don't know what it was about us that made us such of an easy target to be conquered, you know, by evil, by pure evil. So,
well, you know, one of the problems in the beginning is that I don't understand that either, because if you go among any animal species and you're a stranger, and you could be of the same species, but if you're a stranger to that group, they automatically take a defensive position, and they treat stranger with what the hell? That's what they do. I don't understand how the dark-skinned people here and around the earth, as soon as the Europeans appeared, why you want to be all friendly with these people? Most animals will kill you. They're not going to go for it. You know, if you went among an animal, elephant herd or something like that, the bulls will kill you automatically. But for some reason, they embrace. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said it's because opposites attract. That's what he taught. And again, they were never used to nobody with this mentality, you know, this vicious, conniving mentality. They had wars, and you know, they wasn't holy and righteous people. You know, they had their little conflicts, but they never had to deal with nothing on the level that this European was bringing. They never had to deal with nothing like that. You know, some people have what you call honor, but see, this Caucasian is a liar. He's a manipulator. He's a deceiver. They wasn't used to. They thought that people they thought people was like them. You know, it's just like when you might be dealing with a person, and you say, "Well, you know, I'm a fair guy. You know, I do this and that. I treat everybody." Yeah, but the person that you're dealing with might not think the way you do. So they would take advantage of your good heart and cheat and rob and steal and probably end up murdering you, because they don't think the way that you think. And see, that's the problem. And even till today, we think they are like us. They're not like us. That's our problem. We keep dealing with them. We think and believe they think like we do. They're not. They're on a different. There's a reason why Elijah Muhammad said this is a race of devils. We have to understand that. There's a reason for that. They have, not only did Elijah Muhammad say that, but people around the earth say it. They call them the great shaitan. They call them devils. There's a reason for that. And you have to take that in consideration with dealing with them. North Korea is going to feel very, very sorry for any type of negotiations or whatever that they've done with these people. They don't know who they're dealing with. Oh, there go Brother Maurice. Brother Maurice in the house. You can come on in here too, Brother Maurice, if you want to. I wasn't really going to talk that long. We just got on this conversation, an open discussion. Because really, I wanted to just talk. Really, I wanted to talk less than an hour and shut it down. Really, the link is in the chat room, brother Maurice. If you want to join us real quick, we wasn't going to hang real long. But yeah, this is something that we need to understand. I was locked up with these people for 10 years. I know exactly how they think. That fellow that you're talking about, the common sense guy, that's the mentality that I had to deal with for 10 years. And guess what he's studying? He's studying to be a psychiatrist.
Oh, no, I knew that. I mean, he didn't tell me. That's the technology. White people are master manipulators, and you know, white psychology, man. I mean, whew. Like, you know, it was white psychologists, from what, you know, the research that I've been doing, who basically convinced white people that we were inferior.
Yeah.
You know, and we should be treated as animals.
Yeah.
And that's the white psychiatry.
Their whole educational system is founded upon racism.
Right.
It's in their science, it's in their mathematics, everything about them is to make over all the darker people of the earth. All right, Brother Muhammad. We'll probably see each other Sunday. Might do something for Sunday.
That would definitely be nice.
This thing here, you know, with the sisters, you know, that 22 minutes. And what really got me is the fact, and I said this earlier, you're going to tell me about this 22 million that you're so worried about. We have living children right now in foster care. And these devils are adopting our children, making freaks out of them. Probably using them as slaves somewhere. And you're going to tell me about the 22 million that's not here, that you never even saw, but you're not doing nothing about the ones that's alive? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of these people, they can adopt our children if they wanted to. They're not interested. They have a lot of money. They got 4 cars in the driveway. They got these big houses. I always use this as an example. I don't know if you're familiar with Little House on the Prairie.
Somewhat.
Okay. Charles Ingalls already had a decent family. He had 3 girls. He had a family. Then he adopted a boy later on. And then when his children got grown, don't you know, he kept adopting because it was children that became orphans and whatever. He kept adopting children. You would think you don't raise your children, you would be tired of messing with children. You know, let the state handle it. But Charles Ingalls, he didn't have the heart to see those children suffering like that. So he adopted these babies, these children.
That's the question.
Now, here we are talking all this crap. I can guarantee you the majority of these folks that's talking all this bull, they have way more resources than Charles Ingalls. Charles Ingalls was nothing but a poor dirt farmer. That's all he was. But he took what he had to share with these children so they wouldn't be in an orphanage somewhere. These people are talking all this crap. They won't even adopt. Well, first of all, they're not going to adopt no children, and they're not going to take in any children from the foster care system. They're not going to do nothing, but they're concerned about the 22 million that's dead and gone that they don't know nothing about.
Right, they're not even concerned with even offering any type of mentorship to black children that's just out on the street.
Right,
they'll probably turn their damn nose up when they see them. You know.
As a matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up. It's children in America that's homeless out on the street right now. right now. But they're gonna talk about the 22 million that's supposed to be. As far as I'm concerned, they was done a favor. They won't have to go through this bull crap that we have to deal with. Because I know myself, I didn't want to be here. I was happy wherever I was before being brought here. I was doing good.
Sure. Sure.
What's the sense? What's to come to? You want these children, that the 22 million children that was aborted, you want them to come into this existence for what? So they can be a slave nigga like you? So you can be kissing Caucasian folks up in the ass like you? I'd rather been dead. Do me a favor. Now I've got to sit up here and deal with this bull crap.
Sure.
You know, if I get into a position, say for instance, if I get married or whatever, I might entertain that. And you know, I really, you know, I don't want to deal with very small children. I might adopt some of our children or foster care some of our babies. Right now, I'm not in a position, I can't do nothing like that. But if I got a position, I might do that, because our babies need that. You can't, how the hell can you talk about you care for black folks and here our babies suffering and all these other suckers is adopting our babies except you?
Right. And you know what I hear people who,
look, this is what they said too. Well, and it's true. They make it very difficult to adopt our babies and stuff like that. That's true. But my problem is these folks ain't even trying.
That's right.
They're not even trying. Bunch of hypocrites. They're not even trying.
And one of my problems with those type of people who make those, you know, claims is the fact that they always quick to say, or if they get with a sister and marry them, they not even going to take in the kids.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, like if something happened to the father, or, you know, like the father don't want nothing to do with the children and be in their lives.
Yeah.
You know, they so big and bad to where they would, you know, reject, you know, the woman's, you know, children.
Right.
And see, I'm not like that. You know, I wouldn't be like that. Like if I love somebody and their father is not in their life, I'll try to be, you know, the best father figure that I could to.
Right.
I mean, it's just a lot of evil, man. I mean, just we've been bred like this, but sometimes I just wonder.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, can I blame, you know, the white man for everything?
Right. That's another excuse too. I always blame Caucasian people for this, Caucasian people that. I mean, it gets to the point, yeah, the Caucasian people did this and they did that, but clearly they're not going to help you out of your situation. You're going to have to take responsibility for yourself. Understand what has happened to you and take responsibility for it. Because if you don't, they're not going to help you. That's very clear. Can't keep talking about what they done. So what they done it. Now, okay, they done it. You know, if a guy shoots you, you don't expect him to come and take the bullet out, do you? You got to do it. So we got to do this. You don't expect that guy to come and he's not going to pay your hospital bill or nothing. We have to take responsibility for ourselves.
Correct. I was surprised to see you on today. Yeah,
well, you know, I don't know. I just so happened was able to stop through the house, and I was thinking about this topic, and I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and talk about that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't expect you. You know, I normally don't do nothing during the week.
Right. Yeah,
you know, but it just so happened I was able to pass through. I'm like, yeah, I'll go ahead and talk about this. I was just going to make a video, a regular video. I said, nah, I'll go live. Who knows? Right. Somebody might be out there. Who knows? I don't know. But of course, you know, they'll see the video later. So it's all good. Well, how you been doing so far, Brother Craig?
Pretty good. I actually had just made it back in a little while ago. I mean, really right before you started streaming almost. I had just made it back in, and I just got on YouTube and I saw, you know, that you were streaming. So I said, hey, let me join in and see what the discussion is about.
Yeah.
Because I always enjoy, you know, listening to you, because, you know, you put a lot of information out there, you know, that really, you know, get your mind working and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. I hope that you share that video, because I want to talk, have you and him, we do a hangout talking about taking control of a state. I don't know if you saw that video or not yet.
Okay, yeah, I watched a certain part of it so far. Yeah, you say you want to have a discussion about it?
Yeah.
With who? You said somebody else?
Brother Guy. Brother Guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm probably sure that Brother Marisa will join that conversation too.
Yeah, I wish you could get that sister involved as well.
What's
Because the sister that you were trying to get on speakerphone.
Oh yeah. We working on that. We working on that problem.
Yeah. And my brother Guy, he has this other sister. I think her name is Donna.
Yeah, I seen her talk too.
Yeah, probably could.
There was another sister that you had on that program. It was another sister that was.
Her name was Courtney.
Yeah, Courtney. Yeah.
Yeah, she was full of fire. she's well educated. I can tell you that. She's a good debater.
Yeah.
she was full of passion.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. But yeah, we probably, we actually have something lined up for this weekend, definitely. But me, like whenever I see a hangout and I'm available, man,